We believe that if you're a good company, if you are sustainable, if you are diverse, if you're good for society and for your people, the value of your company will always go up.
Welcome to Better Businesses, Better Results, a podcast series focused on exploring how to build better businesses by starting with a specific why in mind. Hear and watch Carlyle portfolio company CEOs, executives, and management teams discuss the results they are aiming for and the value creation plans they are executing on.
The theme of today's conversation is better businesses, better results. I'm Meg Starr, the Global Head of Impact at Carlyle, and I'm here with Dimi Albers, the CEO of Dept, an award-winning agency that works with clients to become digital businesses. And we're here today to discuss the why of Dept's sustainability strategy, and in particular, why Dept has started down the path of becoming a certified B Corporation. Welcome, Dimi.
Hey, Megan, and thanks for having me today. I was super looking forward to this conversation.
Wonderful. So to start, I'd love to hear from the beginning. Why has Dept focused on sustainability as part of your business strategy?
Well, for us, there's basically three reasons why we started this journey. So the first one is our people. We have a lot of young people working here who are super ambitious, not just from a professional perspective, but they're ambitious because they want to make this world a better place. And they truly feel that the company that they work at and work for should also be adding that value to the world, making the world a better place. The second part is our clients. More and more for brands and companies, it is important to find their place in the world from a sustainability, from a diversity, and from a society perspective. So as our clients are focusing more on that, they will look towards their partners more to also work on that. So that is why we believe that for our clients, there's a lot of value in us being a good company and being a good force in the world. Then the third bit is, if you take those things together, you get to the core of it, which is we want to be a force for good. We want to have a good impact on the world. And the nice thing is those two things are completely connected to each other. Because we believe that if you're a good company, if you are sustainable, if you are diverse, if you're good for society and for your people, the value of your company will always go up. So that's the reason why we've embarked on this journey.
We've seen the same thing where sustainability has moved from a nice to have for clients and business partners to increasingly actually a deciding factor in terms of how and where to allocate business to. So I'd love if you wouldn't mind taking a couple of minutes for people who might not be familiar with B Corp certification to just walk through what it is, what it means, and why Dept has started down this path.
The way we see it, and the way also maybe the reason why we've chosen B Corp, is that what they are doing is they are an independent organization that, based on the UN sustainability goals, has set up a way to audit companies based on, are you good for the environment? Are you good for your people? Are you good for the society, etc.? So that is actually what they do. Just like you're going to do an audit from an economic perspective with your accountant, they run through everything you do across a multitude of different topics. They look at what you are doing there. Are you good for just yourself, or are you good for the world? And then they score you. So they give you different points. There's a certain amount of points that you need to get across the whole spectrum. And that then confirms the fact that you are a good company, as we like to call it.
So I've been through the incredible amount of work that Dept has put together around your sustainability strategy. And I think it's a testament to your core business, how incredibly detailed and interactive and kind of very operationally focused your plan is. So can you walk us through, for other companies that are looking at potentially going down a similar path, what did it look like to get started to where you are today?
So I think for us, the most important thing at the beginning was we had two things that we thought were important. So one was, don't try and reinvent the wheel ourselves, but really sort of work with somebody who knows what it is, who can help us with the technical details. Because just like any other audit, there's a lot of technical stuff in there. So that was one. And the second part was, at Dept, we don't believe necessarily in somebody from a top-down perspective saying, this is what you need to do. What we believe in is really sort of a grassroots approach, which meant that when we started, we actually went into the company to ask people, hey, is this something next to your day job that you want to put time in? during office hours, but also outside of office hours because it's a passion. So I think that, for us, those were the two most important things. Make sure that you work with somebody who knows what to do, who can help you, and who can say, these are the things that are actually realistic to do, because it is a lot of work. It's a lot of data that you have to pull up. It's a lot of stuff that you have to do. So realism, and then on the other side, the idealism of really getting your people together and working as a team.
Amazing. We say at Carlyle a lot that our impact is rooted in partnering with companies to build better businesses because, frankly, better businesses are just worth more in today's day and age. And so when we think about better businesses, there are a host of components that markets are increasingly valuing, everything from climate resilience to diverse and engaged workforces. And so I'm curious, as you started to think about prioritizing areas of focus for Dept, what elements of better business have you really leaned into? And where do you see that driving performance for your organization?
Yeah, I think there are, of course, many areas, but us being a digital company, of course, the first area you look at is, we have a digital footprint because we create products and campaigns that actually run on servers or clouds. So the first very obvious point for us is making sure that our clients run on clouds which are sustainable. So we partner up with, of course, the big tech companies to make sure that when we work for our clients with them, that we use the sustainable parts of their clouds. So I think that was sort of a no-brainer for us to immediately jump onto. And I think it's also one of the first things that, when we get RFPs in, that our clients focus on. You need to make sure that that works. Then the second part of it, which we see an increasing demand from our clients, is on the diversity part. So making sure that we are a company which is run in the most diverse way possible. And of course, we need to evolve and do better, but making sure that we have insight into it, that we are actively working on it, that when we talk to clients about it, that they can see, hey, we said this last year, and this year we have made these steps. Our plan is to go to the next step. I think that has been hugely important. And then lastly is all about innovation, because it's hyper important for us to be ahead of the curve, to create things that are cutting edge for our clients. That's why they choose to work with Dept. And what we see is that actually in this, let's say, sustainability area, there is the opportunity to create new experiences that make the world a better place and are truly innovative. So examples of that are, for instance, very recently we worked together with Terra Nutra, which is an NGO in the UK, together with Shopify to create new technology that anybody that in the world uses Shopify for their e-commerce solution can implement. A simple step in the checkout where people can not only pay for the product, but make sure that part of the amount that they're paying also goes to an NGO to make the world a better place. Another example is where we work with an NGO called Just Dig It. That's a European NGO, where we have worked together to use technology to really connect the farmers in Africa directly to the consumer here. So what they do is they work together with farmers to dig bunds, as they call them, which are sort of specific holes in the ground, which will create better irrigation and make sure that actually desert or dried out land becomes fertile again. So what we've done is actually give users or consumers the opportunity to connect directly with the farmer that creates the bund in Kenya, and making sure that on the one hand, you do something good because the world is becoming a more sustainable place. On the other hand, you are working directly with a farmer who gets paid and who has a salary. And on the other hand, you have the person who is donating, who is really committed to the cause and will donate and continue to donate.
So, Dimi, I'm curious how Dept and Carlyle's partnership has intersected as you think about building out sustainability as part of your corporate strategy.
What for us has been hugely important since partnering up with Carlyle is that, we have as a business have a strategy, we have goals, and we also have sort of dreams. And we know that when working together, the most important thing is that we enable us to reach those goals, those dreams, etc. And since we've started with Carlyle, there are many ways that they've supported us. So one is, the, let's say, vast knowledge that you have within Carlyle, the experience that you have with engaging into these kind of journeys, where we have gotten a lot of information from you, which helps us to sort of gauge, how do we want to go at this? The second part is that somebody from our Carlyle deal team sits on our sustainability board. So we have a board that every month looks at, okay, what are we doing? Are we progressing enough? We have that person who sits in there and really helps us and steers us towards the right direction. So we came up with the idea to take 1% of our profit and always donate it every year to the right cause that we think will do something good for the world. Now, normally, if I speak to people around me, they will always say, well, you're an investor. Carlyle probably doesn't approve of something like that. But we've literally, when we come up with these ideas, and it could be donating the 1% of profit, it could be creating an extra budget for our employees to make sure that now during COVID, there is, extra room for learning and development, for sort of mental support, for physical support, all those kind of good stuff. And every time we came up with an idea, the Carlyle team always has said, if this is the best thing for the company and your people, then we're going to do it. And I think that is actually the thing that you need, right? That you're really partnering up, that it is about knowledge, that it is about working together, but it's also sort of putting your money where your mouth is, right? And that for us has been super strong, and really also it keeps the vibe going. And I think to actually do all this work and to keep everybody engaged on it, you need to take away a bunch of hurdles. And I think that, as an investor and as a partner, that's where you can really enable us. And we've been super happy that the team has done that.
So Dimi, if you were talking to other CEOs who are thinking about this journey or in the early days of it, are there any tips or things that you would encourage them to do as they think about charting a similar path?
Most definitely. So I think, first off, all of the CEOs should do it, because it might feel like something which isn't too high on your priority list, but the moment you do it, it will give so much energy and it will feel so good for you personally, as for the company and everybody in it, that you should definitely do it. It's all about the people that you can really rally around doing something good. That is the moment where they will feel more engaged with you as an employer, which means they will work harder, they will have better results, they will get the rest of the folks rally around. I think that is the most important thing to focus on. And then I think maybe the last thing is, you also shouldn't think about it too much. Because if you do, it might be daunting, because it's another task, it's a bunch of money that you have to throw at it, it's a bunch of time that you have to throw at it. And that can all be a reason not to do it. But I'm 100% sure that if you do it, it will make your people more happy, your clients more happy, and ultimately it will increase the value of your company.
Amazing. So my last question for you, Dimi, you and Dept have already seen incredible results with your sustainability work, but also moving towards B Corp certification. What do you think the outcomes are that you're shooting for over the next few years?
The most important outcome that we're shooting for is that we stay on it. So that indeed, every year we actually make things better. That is the intrinsic motivation here. And that is the outcome that we as a company want to have, that, this is the moment we've started over the past 1.5 years to do it. And every year we do it better. The other part is, of course, from a, let's say, more commercial perspective, we truly believe, and we're already seeing it because we're in the process. So when we are in a RFP now and we need to give information on our sustainability or on other diversity or other specifics, we can show people already, hey, this is what we're working on. This is the plan. This is how we're scoring now. This is what we'll score next year. And we just see that it gives us the competitive edge. And it also is a very interesting thing to partner up around. So there are a lot of brands and a lot of tech companies who are really searching for sort of, how can we do it? Not to greenwash or anything of the sort, but just literally, hey, we think it's important to do these things. Can we partner up, do it together? Because a brand might be a fashion brand and they were looking towards us to see how can we use technology to really sort of fill in the sustainability goals that we have for a company. So I truly believe that we've already started to sort of see that traction. And I think that'll only increase over the coming years.
Thank you so much, Dimi. We are very excited about everything that Dept has done and looking forward to continuing to partner with you to see what else we can get done together. So I appreciate the time and best of luck with your sustainability journey.
Thanks, Megan. It was, again, great to speak, and I hope to speak to you soon.